contact the people concerned.
In Maasai's expectations,
it was hard, but I was trying, like I should prove them I'll do it, but it took time before they accepted me in the field.
The presence of these animals makes the Masai Mara one of the most popular tourism destinations in Africa. This is Wildlife Warriors, and I'm Paula Kahumbu.
There! Who the hell are you?
It's none of your business, okay? Who do you think you are?
Don't play tricks on me.
Are you threatening me here?
My requirement is roll straight, roll nicely, and quickly. Boss butt. Roll!
You should communicate with Mr. Tong more. Considering your relationship, it won't be difficult.
Tunapanga mambo yote kwa ajili ya nani?
Hapa sitakufungia tena. Una ruhusa ya kutembea kila mahali unapotaka.
Safari, umewezaje wewe kuishi na huyu Kate?
Amekataa tena, hataki kupambana na Kate tena. Mimi sijui utakaje, hata simuelewi.
You said to solve a problem you have to speak to each other decently.
Kumbuka, Dingo ni mume wangu mimi.
Good afternoon. You're just in time for comprehensive news on this 14th day of December 2021 right here on KBC Channel 1. This is the Lunchtime News. I'm Regina. Manyara. Now we start off with an update in matters security, where police in Ruaka, Kiambu County this morning shot dead 2 suspected robbers and recovered a pistol and 5 bullets. Special Service Unit boss Pius Gitari says that a shootout ensued after police ordered the dude to surrender at the Ruaraka bus stop area, but instead shot at the police. Kiamba Sub-County Commissioner Phineas Ringera confirmed the incident, saying the suspect had planned to rob a business premise in Ruaka town. Bodies of the suspected robbers have been moved to city mortuary.
Maaskari wamefanya kazi mzuri juu wametuondolea hao mikora, wacha niseme ni majabasi. Wametusubua sana huku. Hata juzi kuna mwingine wa pikipiki alikuwa ameibiwa pikipiki na akauliwa.
Hata mimi nilikuwa natokea tu hapa. Mimi kutokea tu hivi nikaanza kusikia sasa hiyo risasi, sasa milio ya risasi. Sasa mimi nikapata sasa ile mambo iko hapa, iko na vita ya serikali, lakini mimi unajua sasa huwezi ona.
This morning we received information from members of the public that 4 young men in 2 motorcycles were seen around Quickmart supermarket within Ruaka town, who wanted to rob to make a robbery at the supermarket. Police officers responded. 2 of the young men alighted from the motorcycles and they were challenged by the police officers. It is when they started shooting at the police officers and the police officers then responded, fatally injuring 2 of them, while other 2 disappeared with their motorcycles. We are still looking for them, and unfortunately, one of our officers during the exchange was injured but in stable condition, who has been rushed to Nairobi West Hospital. We have managed to recover a Seska pistol loaded with 5 rounds of 9.9 mm bullets, and we have recovered also 7 spent cartridges at the scene.
As we head into the festive season, you have been advised to be your brother or your sister's keeper and be vigilant. Now, a Form 3 student at the Nakuru school is building a fresh greening impetus among her peers in a bid to help raise the country's forest cover and conserve river ecosystems. 16-year-old Stacey Ngemu, through the program dubbed A Tree Every Birthday, seeks to inculcate in the young participants the culture of care for others and environmental conservation, as well as a sense of collective ownership.
The epicenter of Stacey's activities is at the school's botanic garden, which stretches 50 meters long and 20 meters wide, where she and her 240 colleagues have started planting a tree each on their birthdays. The program aims to educate participants on various tree species that are beneficial to various ecosystems, suitable for various uses, and provide information about appropriate harvesting of tree parts for a range of domestic uses.
We decided to plant trees because trees help in the environment. They help the country to protect us from global warming, the destroying of the ozone layer.
15-year-old Lauren Ocharo's peer counseling group says the twin program of conservation and counseling instills in the students a sense of purpose and direction.
We work as a team. We help the girls here. It helps them to minimize the incidents of fires, striking in school, getting out of school, dropping out, because we urge them, we advise them, we mentor them, because we are helping, we are intermediaries in between them.
Henry Waitindi, the director of the school, suggests this model of student leadership to other schools, saying a robust Scouts program is a solution to spiraling misunderstanding between teachers and students.
We think that by giving them an avenue to communicate in these clubs freely, in those of us in education, in a very effective domain, in a very personal expressions, they are able to handle and express their desires in the skits in an informal way, and we get the message.
For Ngemu and Ocharo, a chain is as strong as its weakest link. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I am Stephanie Akiri.
Great incentive there. Now, the Ministry of Health has rolled out a 10-day routine immunization exercise to mitigate a worrying decline in immunization coverage across the country. The campaign targets children under 5 for the Penta 1 and Penta 3, as well as measles, rubella vaccines, and girls aged between 10 to 14 for the human papillomavirus vaccine.
A total of 300,000 children under 5 miss out critical vaccines or full immunization of the Penta 1, Penta 3 and measles rubella vaccines every year. Only 30% of 700,000 girls between 10 to 14 targeted for the HPV vaccine receive the vaccine every year.
For Motongo TV.
Health Acting Director General Dr. Patrick Amoth says this trend is worrying.
If you look at the cumulative effect of that, I think we have close to 1.6 million children who are unvaccinated. and that is a time bomb waiting to explode. And we have seen snippets of that time bomb in terms of periodic outbreaks of vaccine-preventable diseases, especially measles.
These two groups are now targeted in a countrywide periodic intensified routine immunization, 100 days plan through the National Vaccines and Immunization Program.
Most of the children who are not vaccinated are those who live in the rural areas or the urban informal settlements, crowded places, and therefore these are the people who are vulnerable and unlikely to reach the health facilities in good time if you have such a kind of an outbreak. And that underpins the importance of this rapid results initiative over the next 100 days.
We have all incorporated all the antigens, and that is well said. Vitamin A is usually considered when we are looking at the fully immunized child. So vitamin A is also integrated. As they go out, they will ensure that they have all the routine immunization components.
The Ministry of Health targets to reach about 70% of girls in the human papilloma vaccine program every year, and at least 90% of children in the life-saving vaccines.
We said, Linda, kila mtoto hakikisha wamekamilisha chanjo zote. So chanjo zote HPV, dose 1 and 2, amekamilisha chanjo zote from BCG to measles, rubella 2, or malaria, the 4th dose in the counties that are eligible.
While cases of measles outbreaks still occur in the country, and cervical cancer being the second cause of death after breast cancer, the ministry is now calling on parents to avail their children for the all-important vaccines. The Rapid Result Initiative exercise will run till the 10th of February 2022. Kamchemenza for Lunchtime News.
Heads of educational institutions have been urged to come up with creative ways to curb student unrest in schools. Siaya County Director of Education Nelson Sifuna observed that events that help students loosen up should be encouraged in all learning institutions, adding that this could mark the turning point to the indiscipline cases among some students.
Sifuna, who was speaking at Siremba Secondary School in Gem Sub-County during the institution's Talent Search Cum Cultural event, said schools where administration engages students through innovative programs have enjoyed calm despite the challenges that has rocked some institutions in recent times.
We have encouraged school to come up with innovations that can contain the students.
The county director further added that events such as interclass or inter-house competitions and other activities that helps students relax should be encouraged in all learning institutions, as this could mark the turning point to the indiscipline cases amongst some students.
We have various activities. We have inter-class competitions going on. We have inter-houses competitions in various fields going on. Today in various schools we had what we refer to as weekend challenge.
As you know, what has been happening nationally, the children are tired, and we needed to get something that can break them away from studying every day.
The call comes days after Ikuu Boys High School in Tharaka Nithi County was closed indefinitely after learners walked out of school following a fire that saw 3 dormitories go up in smoke. Jacqueline Masharia for Lunchtime News.
Remember that you can get further details on our website, that is www.kbc.co.ke. Now we cross over to Naivasha, where residents in informal settlements will now receive water from the county government of Nakuru after waiting for over 2 years. 150 families have been identified to benefit from the free water supply project to be undertaken by the Naivasha Water and Sanitation Company.
According to Lakeview MCA Simon Wanyoike, the families that were former squatters in Lord Delamere's farm had undergone untold suffering over the years, saying some traders had tried to evict them from their land and block the only borehole in the village, and the water supply would alleviate their suffering.
Borehole walikuwa napewa maji, walikuwa natumia maji sababu walikuwa nataka waondoke hapa, silizimwa, mfereji ikaondolewa ili wateseke waondoke. But leo hii ninashukuru Mwenyezi Mungu sababu haki yao ilipatikana.
Wanyoike commended the county and area leadership for the noble project which will go a long way in solving the water crisis in the area.
Zaidi ya miaka 20 maji hapa ni puda. Huyu mama amekuambia kutoka asubuhi hajaona maji. Kutoka jana ametafuta maji amekosa. You can imagine mama kama huyu na umri wake hana maji, mwili wake unahitaji maji na hajui maji itatoka wapi.
The community chairman Joseph Maina said at last the locals had something to smile about.
Hii maji itatusaidia kwa mambo nyingi. Bila maji hakuna chochote kinaweza endelea.
Wangeshi Nganga, who is a resident of the area, was grateful that the issue of sanitation will be addressed and the people will no longer walk for long kilometers to get water.
Lakini siku ya leo ninaifurahia mheshimiwa wetu Wanango ametuletea maji safi. Tutakuwa tukikunywa maji, hata wamama siku hizi watakuwa wameng'aa.
Now off to West Pokot, where the governor, Professor John Lonyangapuo, has condemned the Sunday attack at Chesagon area, the border of Pokot Central and Marakwet East sub-counties. During the attack, 2 persons were injured and are currently receiving treatment at the Kapenguria County Referral Hospital. Governor Lonyangapuo has further urged the Interior and Coordination CS Fred Matiang'i to ensure bandits with illegal arms are disarmed.
Speaking at Kapenguria County Referral Hospital after visiting the victims, Lonyangapuo said the Ministry of Interior was to blame for failing to conduct disarmament along the border, adding that illegal guns in the hands of bandits are terrorizing innocent locals. He challenged the government for being reluctant to deploy the Kenya Police, GSU and anti-stock theft officers to provide security and disarm bandits.
Tusaidie kwa ulimi na matendo. And that's what we have been doing. Sasa sisi hatuna uwezo ya kurokota bunduki kwa raia. Kama national government mmeshindwa, let us exchange. The law allows us functions ya national government to be done by county governments. Turokote, tusaidiane na sisi turokote mabunduki. Kama mmeshindwa. We don't want to be coming. Sijui nini nitafanyika sasa kesho. Watu wanajiandaa sasa kwenda Krismasi.
Stephen Lucia, brother to a physically challenged victim, said the bandits ambushed locals while picking mangoes and sprayed the bullet on him due to his immobility. Fortunately, his brother did not succumb to the bullet and was rescued and rushed to the hospital.
Hii maneno ilitokea jana, watu walikuwa na funa miembe kwa mashamba zao hapo Jeptuli Boys nyumbani. Hao watu sasa wakati walifika hivi ndio watu walitoroka. Huyu mlemavu sasa ndio alipaki kwa shamba. Wakati alipaki kwa shamba, wakati walishambuliwa, hao watu walikatoroka, huyu ndio alipaki kwa shamba. Kupaki kwa shamba, Marakwet 5 wakafika hapo. Kufika hapo 4 ndio mmoja ndio alipiga huyu, 4 ndio walikata kona.
The upsurge of banditry and cattle raids with killings at the border of West Pokot, Elgeyo Marakwet and Baringo counties has seen several locals killed. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I'm Purity Muse.
To Busia, where the society has been urged to visit and interact with prisoners in various correctional facilities in a bid to boost their morale and reduce depression. Head of the Coriander prison, Patricia Makali, said despite prisoners having been jailed for breaking the law, they also need motivation and advice from the community to be able to change and feel a sense of ownership. Speaking at the facility during an early Christmas celebration, Makali stated that prisoners needed motivation and advice from the community members to be able to change and feel a sense of ownership. Officers from the various organizations have said that most prisoners face psychological difficulties, therefore need counseling as part of rehabilitation.
Tuone hao watu ambao wako katika gereza wanajisikia ni watu wa muhimu.
Pia inawapea encouragement katika maisha yao. Hawezi jiona ni kama ni watu ambao wametupwa katika jamii.
Na pia wakati mtu anapokuwa kwenye gereza, sometimes wanaona ni kama anakuwa na mawazo mengi. Lakini wakati sisi tunakuja, tunaongelesha, tunawahimiza, wanakuwa na tumaini la kesho.
Tumekuja siku ya leo kuweza kusherehekea nao, yani wahisi ya kwamba wanapendwa na pia kuna mtu ambaye anamjali.
Now, about 15 reformed female genital mutilation practitioners in Igembe, Meru County have joined the anti-FGM campaign to fight the vice. The move is a boost to the war on FGM as the country approaches the 2022 deadline for elimination of the practice as directed by President Uhuru Kenyatta.
The reformed circumcisers are now members of an anti-FGM advocacy group spearheaded by the Men and FGM Foundation, an organization founded to rally men to take part in the war against the vice. A reformed female circumciser and chairlady of the group said they brought together the reformed circumcisers to have an upper hand in fighting the vice. She further stated that through the training given by the Men and Foundation, they have been able to gather intelligence on planned FGM cases and work with authorities to stop them.
Nienda wapi nikaongea hii maneno ya ukeketaji, nikasema mimi nilikuwa na niliwaza hii maneno. Sasa ndio sababu uliona hawa wakeketaji wanaitokeza. Kwa sababu naunganisha wakeketaji wa hapa Central na Wembe North.
The group is also backed by men who are anti-FGM activists operating in various locations in Igembe North and Igembe Central where the vice is rampant. George Muchui, an anti-FGM activist, said the vice was still rife due to stigma.
Wale wanapanga kukeketa wasichana, chuma yao iko motoni. Na ukeketaji hauna manufaa kwa mtoto wa kike ama kwa msichana yeyote yule. Hii wakati hii likizo tunaenda hii holiday, mwanafunzi msichana awekwe vizuri kama baba na mama.
Ms. Catherine Thiakunu, the founder of Care Health Providers, who is working with Men and FGM Foundation to sensitize the community, said men and reformed female circumcisers will play a critical role in eliminating the vice, adding that an establishment of a network of anti-FGM crusaders will increase the resistance in far-flung areas in the country.
Our aim to come and sensitize these people. They be like our ambassadors in their various sectors, villages, mikutano yao, chamas. When they go there in churches, they're given a chance to speak, they pass the same message. FGM has no benefit.
According to data from UNICEF, FGM prevalence in Meru stands at 31%, with most of the practice going underground amid opposition.
Now, over 800 residents of Manyara and the neighboring countries of Somalia and Ethiopia have benefited from a free medical eye camp courtesy of Well Wishes. The camp that has been going on for the last 1 week has also seen a total of 300 patients with cataract problems corrected. The Manyara County government has embarked on an ambitious campaign to help those with cataracts in the region. Speaking during the free eye treatment exercise, Dr. Stephen Ngoko said the high prevalence of blindness and eye problems in the area was a result of the long distance and lack of eye clinics in the area. Dr. Ngoko said the biggest problem associated with cataract was the most common eye problem in the area was old age, but said other factors such as environment also contributed.
And most of these people are elderly and they have not gotten these services for a long time. And that's why we are here to do these cataract surgeries for free, sponsored by our sponsors and through the county government, who have been very instrumental. At the end of the exercise, which we end by Saturday of this week, we have performed 300 cataract surgeries, and a lot of patients will benefit from this, because so far we've screened over 800 patients who have gotten medications, glasses and deferrals, and now we have picked out of that 300 cataract patients which we are going to perform in this exercise.
Shida ambao leo imeleta referrals ni shida ya macho, ambapo madaktari wanatusaidia kwa usaidizi ambao bure upande wa macho. Ili macho ilikuwa inanisumbua kitu kama mwaka 10 macho ilikuwa inanisumbua, ilikuwa na shida ya macho.
Kiambu Governor James Nyoro has lauded the national government for releasing the property of troubled Ekeza Sacco that has been under receivership. Nyoro says that the Sacco, besides continuing with its operations, it can now pay its debtors. Ekeza Sacco founder Bishop David Kariuki, commonly known as Gakuyo, called on the former shareholders to report to Ekeza officers for any claims, saying now the Sacco is purely owned and operated by members as per the government's directive.
What we need to do is to make sure that tumeenda polepole. Ekeza kama it is not moving at the pace that we would want, tutaingilia tuseme now that Gakuyo has paid the money to Ekeza. Wewe Ekeza, kwa nini ulipi deni haraka namna hiyo?
Now on to matters politics, where the Orange Democratic Movement Kilifi branch chairman, who is also MP Ganze Teddy Mombere, has hailed Kilifi Governor Amason Kingi's move to support ODM party leader Raila Odinga. Mombere, however, warned Governor Kingi that Kilifi was still firmly in the Orange Democratic Party and will not support his Pamoja African Alliance Party.
Speaking after handing over projects funded by National Government Constituency Development Fund at Bahati and Yembe primary schools in Bahati sublocation, Ganze MP Teddy Mombere welcomed Kilifi Governor Amason Kingi's indication that Pamoja African Alliance would support Raila Odinga's presidency.
Unajua Governor Kingi alitoka kidogo, unajua kama mfugaji wa kuku, unajua unaelewa kwamba ule jogoo akiondolewa mahali akienda kama siku 3 hivi, akirudi kile kijimbi kitakuwa kinawika na ule jogoo anaweza donwa mpaka akatoroka, unajua hivyo. Kwa hivyo Governor Kingi alitoka kidogo akasema yeye hana haja ya chungwa, lakini baadaye alipoenda kule koo yake ikaanza kumletea shida, akasema chungwa hata kula, lakini yale maji ya chungwa anaweza kutumia. Kwa hivyo sisi tunamwalika aje afanyie kampeni baba, lakini ajue kwamba Kilifi ni ODM sipa.
Mombere, who replaced Kingi as ODM chairman in Kilifi County, however downplayed the impact of Governor Kingi's PAR party, saying the Kilifi County was still in ODM party.
Na hata asione miujiza, hapa watu watachaguliwa kupitia ODM, si PAR wala chama chingine. Kwa hivyo asijidanganye, kwa sababu hakuna tofauti ya maji ya chungwa na chungwa.
Elsewhere in Kajiado County, political leaders led by former Kajiado Governor David Nkedienye continue popularizing Raila Odinga's Azimio la Umoja movement.
Kule Kasarani, baba anaenda State House. Baba anaenda State House. Na tusikue vigeugeu namna hii, tusikue na wasiwasi. Hii nchi, ule mtu anaweza kutushikilia hii nchi vizuri, anaweza kusimamisha uchumi wetu vizuri ikae sawa sawa. Ule mtu anaweza kupigana na hii corruption na pigana na corruption yote. Huyo si ni baba anawezana na hii nchi kweli?
Since Raila Odinga declared his presidency candidature on Friday, heightened political activities to popularize his ambition has been witnessed across the county. In a major political meeting held at Sifa Farm, Kitengela, dozens of Azimio la Umoja supporters turned up to celebrate Raila Odinga's declaration and to show solidarity. Those in attendance also urged the need for political tolerance and unity of purpose among leaders to avert political skirmishes during polls.
Haja yetu kabisa ni kufanya siasa ya amani, kufanya siasa ambayo itaweza kuunganisha Wakenya wote pamoja.
Kevin Washira, Lunchtime News.
A quick breather, we'll be right back.
Things the right way so that I can offer the man I love the love of my life.
What's going on? Is it something serious? Alejandro!
The boss called and he ordered me to move all of your stuff to another bedroom, madam.
What? I know the truth. I feel it. Since the first time I saw Alejandro in front of me, I felt it.
What in the world are my daughters doing here?
The Amazons.
Stop there! Who the hell are you?
It's none of your business, okay? Who do you think you are?
Don't play tricks on me.
Are you threatening me here?
My requirement is roll straight, roll nicely, and quickly.
Boss,
Roll!
You should communicate with Mr. Tongmore. Considering your relationship, it won't be difficult.
用一段故事建筑一座城堡，回忆放进去后就不再打。
You're watching Lunchtime News and I'm Regina. Manyara now bringing you up to speed with stories that are making headlines. Without further ado, that residents living in Kerio Valley in Baringo County have decried lack of anti-snake venom in all local health facilities. The locals have subsequently appealed for the government to act quickly and equip their health centers with the essential drug, claiming they only rely on one private hospital for snake bite treatments.
A snake bite victim, Eli Biwot, narrates how he was forced to rush to Salawa Mission Hospital, many kilometers away for treatment after being bitten by a snake.
Kaita mhudumu wa bodaboda akakuja mbio, akuja kunichukua hapa nyumbani, anikimbiza mpaka Salawa ku Mission Hospital, kwa kanihudumia, wakanilasa.
Lina Chimoiwa, who is a resident from Lelmen, Baringo Central, said the only way to save lives was to bring anti-snake venom near to the area prone to snakes during this dry season.
So ile kitu tulikuwa tunaomba tungewekewa dawa karibu na dispensary yetu ili mtu akiathiriwa anakimbizwa anapata dawa huko.
The area assistant chief Muindi Moses made an appeal for more sensitization to the locals on what to do when they are attacked by snakes.
Changamoto ya nyoka hiyo sasa ni kwa tisho, na kwa sababu sasa tumepata serikali kuu na serikali ya kaunti, ningehimiza tu kwamba hii changamoto ikuwe kipaumbele na wizara ya afya.
Beatrice Jepkoech of Kerio Valley Snake Foundation raised concerns of the lack of anti-snake venom and ambulances, which would be a big help to the locals. The foundation has been conducting sensitization in the region.
Katika Kerio Valley Snake Bites Foundation tuko na madaktari ambao wameweza kubobea, watakuwa wanatoa mafundisho.
On to matters business, where Kenya's video surveillance system market is expected to register double-digit growth in the next 5 years due to mounting of criminal cases across the country. Now, already the country's surveillance market is the third largest in sub-Saharan Africa, behind South Africa and Nigeria. Global security surveillance system manufacturer Hikvision says this year the surveillance equipment market is expected to clock 10 billion shillings, driven by strong demand by both the private and public sector.
Been investing in surveillance technology to deal with complex crime issues like carjackings, murders, kidnapping, among others. In 2016, the government invested 15 billion shillings in a complex web of CCTV cameras and radio communication devices that can take pictures at crime scenes and send real-time data to the command center for analysis. This has boosted the uptake of security surveillance systems in the country, with almost all buildings in major towns having CCTV cameras.
In the COVID-19 time, we can use our face.
According to Chinese surveillance systems manufacturer KBC, the Kenya video surveillance system market size is anticipated to register robust growth as more people embrace surveillance systems to bolster security. KBC Africa Chief Executive Matthew Guo says IP surveillance system is expected to account for a major share of market demand owing to the high quality of the video captured along with large storage capacity.
The solutions we provide to the Kenya market is the most advanced, which is developed by our R&D in China. So the most advanced technology, once it is released, will first time bring to Kenya, because Kenya is a mature market, is an important market. You have wise people, so that's why we do it as the first time.
Secure Digital Limited Chief Executive Peter Ngare says the sheer presence of security cameras in an area can restrain any criminal or theft attempts due to the fact that the act is being captured on camera.
And we are showcasing the technology that will be able to move to the next realm. The technology that will be able to get the security on a higher notch. We are giving more incentives and more information about security that we have in the current market and what is coming to be in the near future.
The use of surveillance cameras in the country is expected to receive a shot in the arm if a motion by Nairobi County Assembly to make it mandatory for all commercial and residential buildings installed with cameras is passed into law.
Hoteliers are diversifying their products amid growing demand for customized travel experiences by visitors. This comes in the wake of increased bookings in the country's traditional travel destinations this festive season. Kenya prides itself as a safari and beach destination. As such, hospitality facilities down at the coast are smiling all the way to the bank since there is in curfew restrictions in October and more so Christmas festivities that have led to increased bookings. According to hotelier Hasnain Nurani, operationalization of the standard gauge railway and increased frequencies of low-cost carrier flying to the coastal towns has made traveling to the region more accessible and affordable for a majority of people.
We have outlined 10 counties across Kenya where we will be looking at spreading our wings and establishing a pride in every major county in Kenya over the next 5 years.
Amid increased demand, hoteliers are keen on diversifying their products buoyed by, among others, competition, as well as increased demand for customized travel experiences by visitors who want more than the scenic beaches and safari game drives.
They have a lot of experiences from these ones that I've done to the ones we are going to experience, and I hope we'll have a good time. And Kenyans, being that the curfew is lifted, tutembee Kenya sasa.
These, they say, will propel the country's tourism profile and make it more competitive. Regina Manyara reporting for Lunchtime News. Local manufacturers should strive to make quality products to effectively compete with imports in the local and international markets. Kenya Bureau of Standards Rift Valley Regional Manager Cyrus Wambari says consumers are particular on product quality, their rights and their quest for value for their money, which determines their preferences.
The COVID-19 pandemic has adversely affected local industries, some of who have been compromising on quality. Due to this, Kenya Bureau of Standards Rift Valley Regional Manager Cyrus Wambari says the standards body has rolled out a 2-month rapid response initiative to rid the local market of contraband goods, which he says floods the country during the festive season. Wambari is calling on Kenyans to collaborate with government agencies in fighting contraband products, noting that this will go a long way in creating an environment for local industries to thrive.
Work together with the Kenya Bureau of Standards so that they can come up with the products, or we can come up with the products that assure consumers of the highest quality products, which ensure not only performance but safety of those products.
The county government of Nakuru voiced support, noting that there was a need to push for quality products.
Support the local economy and keep the jobs. There is nothing wrong with that if we do it, because we have a national policy called Buy Kenya, Build Kenya.
Reporting for Lunchtime News, my name is Hibak Said.
Onto the region where Uber has partnered with PayMob, the leading digital payment service provider, to expand payment options on the Uber app in Egypt. This will financially integrate the border base of Egyptian drivers and riders, besides enhancing financial inclusion through the ride-sharing technology. Here are details of this and other stories from across the African globe.
Through this partnership, riders can now top up their wallets on the Uber app using various payment methods, allowing them to plan for their trips in advance. For more convenience, added payments remain valid with no expiration dates, so riders can request trips whenever they want without having to worry about carrying cash. For drivers, this partnership also unlocks a smoother process to pay Uber service fee 22.5% using various in-app payment methods, especially supporting those who do not have bank accounts. Meanwhile, the Tanzania horticultural industry plans a major foray into the biological control to spur the domestic application as it seeks a lion's share of $370 billion worth of annual global organic food market value. The Tanzania Horticultural Association is currently working to support Tanzania's pioneer manufacturer of biological control agents, Multiflowers Limited, to spur large-scale production to meet the local and export market needs. The Arusha-based Multiflower Limited stated that it can produce 1,200 liters of biocontrol agents a day or 6,000 liters a week, giving a ray of hope to horticultural farmers. Finally, the decline in fuel prices at the local pumps could be short-lived as global oil prices begin to record some gains. Fuel prices in Ghana are deregulated, meaning oil prices on the international market have a direct impact on local prices. The Brent and West Texas intermediate benchmarks had recorded about 8% gains within the week. Analysts have attributed the increments to initial studies which showed that existing vaccines were affecting against the Omicron variant of the coronavirus, thereby easing demand fears. World oil prices dropped by as much as $10 per barrel in late November following the detection and spread of the Omicron variant, which led to a decline in oil demand as several airlines reviewed their operations in response to travel restrictions.
Back to the local scene, where the National Cereals and Produce Board says it might increase the buying price of maize depending on the market price. The board is in the process of replenishing stocks in its commercial arm and has increased its maize buying price by 350 shillings to 2,700 shillings in efforts to attract more farmers.
The National Cereals and Produce Board says the 700,000 50-kilogram bags of maize it had in its commercial wing from the previous harvest has been depleted, and then the process of replenishing their stocks. The board now says it has been forced to increase the buying price of maize from 2,350 shillings to 2,700 shillings to attract farmers, but might be forced to increase the prices due to market forces. Earlier this month, NCPB Managing Director Joseph Kimote said they had planned to purchase over 500,000 50 kg bags of maize as the strategic reserves were running empty. The National Cereals and Produce Board has told the National Assembly that it needed slightly over 10 billion shillings from the National Treasury to restock the reserves in light of the drought that has affected maize production in parts of the country. Part of the cash will go towards purchasing of 3 million bags of food commodities and improvement of digital services to enhance the warehouse receipt system. The board says it will not put a timeline on the current maize purchase exercise as it seeks to mop up excess maize from the current harvest in a bid to bolster its commercial wing.
Now, across the globe, Toyota has announced it will extend production stoppages at some factories in Japan as it continues to feel the impact of the supply chain issues. The world's largest car maker said its component factories in South and East Asia had faced disruptions due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Here are more details.
The company said that they lost production from the latest hulls, with total about 14,000 vehicles in December. Toyota has stated the stoppages were due to a lower attendance rate at suppliers in Southeast Asia due to the respread of COVID-19 that the tight logistics situation in Japan. However, the company also said it aimed to stick to its annual global production target for the year ending in 31st March. The global supply chain crisis hitting Japan's motor industry is also having an impact on the country's economy as a whole. Japan's exports broke a 7-month streak of double-digit expansion, rising by 9.4% in the year to October. Meanwhile, a powerful US Senate committee has warned of serious weakness in the way new aircraft have been built by Boeing. It also criticized how the company's aircraft were certified as a sale to fly by the regulator, the Federal Aviation Administration. The Senate Committee on Commerce, Science and Transportation report was based on the testimony of 7 whistleblowers from the industry. It came in response to 2 Boeing MAX crashes which killed 346 people. On Monday, the FAA said it takes all whistleblower allegations seriously and does not tolerate retaliation against those who raise safety concerns. Finally, the Turkish lira has fallen to a new record low amid fears that the central bank will make a further cut in interest rates later this week. It was down nearly 7% at just under 15 to the dollar, but it recoiled slightly after the bank intervened in the market to prop it up. The currency is now worth about half its value at the beginning of the year. Economist survey expects the Turkish central bank to reduce its main interest rate from 15% to 14%. It will be the 4th such cut in as many months.
Now we speak matters local once again, where mortality and infant death rate in Vihiga County has drastically reduced from 531 out of 1,000 women yearly to just about 122 out of 1,000 births.
Speaking during the ceremony, the governor noted that when the program was launched in 2018, it enrolled only 50 women, but 3 years down the line, it has an enrollment of 8,774 mothers.
Kabla hajaanza hii mradi, tulikuwa na akina mama wale walikuwa napoteza maisha wakijifungua, walikuwa 531 kwa 10,000. Na tangu tuanze hii mradi, saa hii tunazungumza, tumereduce hiyo namba kutoka 531 to 122.
Otichilo assured that his government has put more plans in place to make sure Boresha Afya ya Mama na Mtoto program is successful and make sure that Vihiga registers zero maternal mortality rate in the next 2 years.
Wakati tulichukua hatamu, tulikuwa na watoto 19 kwa 1,000 walikuwa na kufa wakati wa kuzaliwa. Saa hii tumereduce hiyo namba, imebaki sasa 3 kwa 1,000.
The program aims at enhancing the capacity of vulnerable women and children to access quality services, and mothers are given incentives to assist them to meet their basic needs. During the function, the women also received early Christmas gifts, which consisted of sugar, cooking oil, diapers, baby towel, masks, and other foodstuffs. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I am Stephanie Akiri.
To the sporting arena, where the second edition of the Kibwezi Mentorship and Sports Association Football Tournament has kicked off with 285 men and women football teams from Kibwezi County constituency in Makueni County competing for the title. Meanwhile, Eldoas FC were crowned the champions of the Linda Maji Mtaani football after beating Falme FC 3-0 in a final played at the Bishop Delani High School grounds.
The second edition of the Kibwezi Mentorship and Sports Association Football Tournament has kicked off in Makueni County. 6 teams from 3 wards of Nguumo, Kikumbulu North and Kikumbulu South have so far won tickets to represent their respective wards in the constituency finals, slated for 30th and 31st December this year at Makindu Railways ground. In some of the results, Kibwezi United trounced Santos Boys 3-0, while their lady counterparts Kalungu Women FC beat Kevanda Starlets 2-0, Kanyungu Queens beat Ithumula 3-0, Nyayo Boys humbled Malembo 4-1 in post-match penalties after a 1-1 draw at full-time, while Ngonguni Ladies silenced Usimba FC 3-0. The tournament, which is under the sponsorship of Kibwezi Empowerment Foundation, provided an avenue for massive COVID-19 vaccinations.
Tunataka kutumia michezo kama njia moja ya kukuza talenti, lakini vile vile kuleta vijana wetu ndio waanze kujimudu kiuchumi. Tuwafundishe jinsi za kujimudu kiuchumi kwa sababu kumekosekana kazi za kufanya.
Meanwhile, Eldoas FC were crowned the champions of the Linda Maji Mtaani football after beating Falme FC 3-0 in a final played at the Bishop Delany High School grounds. Colin Sotino opened the scoring for the champions in the 6th minute and led 1-0 at the break. The goals were 2 a minute into the second half when Eriko Kasimba found the net in the 46th minute. Mfalme got a lifetime 3 minutes later, but when they were awarded a penalty, but Shangu Kipkorir missed from the spot. Colin Sotino sealed the win with a 3rd goal in the 52nd minute.
As Eldoas, we've said we want to promote the talent, so we'll be sponsoring every year Linda Maji Mtaani football tournament, and in fact we'll introduce also what we call Linda Maji Athletics Festival, where we want to run across town. We are going to run within Eldoret town, the CBD. So next year we are going to close the CBD. We do races, we do festival, because a lot of our champions actually live in Eldoret.
The tournament was used to sensitize the public on the importance of security in the area.
Well, now let's cross over to matters international, where the English Premier League match between Manchester United and Brentford, which was scheduled to be played tonight, has been postponed due to COVID-19 outbreak at the Old Trafford. Meanwhile, AS Roma got back to winning ways with a 2-0 victory over Spezia in the Italian Serie A last night.
An early goal from Chris Smalling in the 6th minute and a second from Roger Ibanez in the 56th minute sealed a crucial 2-0 victory for Jose Mourinho's Roma and left Spezia just 2 points above the relegation zone in the Italian Serie A.
And there's the second goal, Roger Ibanez!
Elsewhere, Manchester United becomes the second English Premier League club after Tottenham to have their match rescheduled due to coronavirus outbreak at their camp. United said in a statement that the Premier League board took the decision to postpone the Brentford clash based on guidance from medical advisors. It came hours after the Old Trafford club closed their Carrington training complex because of several players and staff members testing positive for coronavirus. In other matches on card today, Aston Villa will take on Norwich, while Manchester City will host Leeds United.
Now that puts a cap on the lunchtime news this afternoon. Remember, lots of news is available on our website, that is www.kbc.co.ke. I see Jackson Kehara there, a Manchester United fan, saying that as a fan, they will weather the storm and they'll be in shape for the round of 16 there in the US. CAF Champions League, so to speak. Well, Viva Manchester United as a fan, I am in with that particular sentiment by Jackson Kihara there. And some of the developing stories that we will be focusing, or rather we are chasing for you this afternoon, is the development in regard to matters to that directive by the government on the no vaccine, no service. It seems that the case has been filed in High Court by a businessman by the name Enoch Aura, and is pending a hearing and determination. So far what we have, but we get to confirm exactly what it portends for the government's directive there in regard to the High Court suspending a mandatory COVID-19 vaccination orders by the Ministry of Health. Do keep it KBC Channel 1 for that and so much more. We have our subsequent bulletins from 4 p.m., 7 and 9 p.m. Our sign language interpreter and comrade there is none other than Suthuku. I am Regina Manyara. I wish you a pleasant viewing ahead.